Hello, this is Ken with the Model Building and Retirement Channel, and today we're coming at you from the Buckeye Classic NNL show down in Hilliard, Ohio, a suburb of Columbus. It's a great show, and we're going to talk about it right after the intro. Sponsored by Model Makers Workshop. Need parts for your next model project? Model Makers Workshop has you covered with the best aftermarket accessories around. And by Gaahleri, your one-stop shopping for all your airbrush needs. Okay, well, I'll tell you, the Buckeye Classic show was a fantastic show with a fantastic turnout, and they had two tremendously large vendor areas. Not really covering the vendors on this episode, but I will have a couple pans of the two rooms because they had two rooms set up, and I spent quite a bit of money there because I found a lot of good deals on some really cool kits. Good show, good show. The models were actually upstairs, which scared me because I had packed 12 models in my semi-rig, and I had a big cart and a big old bin, two big bins with me, and I saw the stairs. I was like, oh boy, but luckily they did have an elevator. So, fantastic show. So, being that the show was upstairs, I wasn't real impressed with the layout for the show, though. I thought the aisles were way too narrow and the lighting was kind of poor. And that's no diss on the club that puts this together because, I have no idea what's involved with that or what kind of budget there is or what it costs to rent a venue like that. But, I'm sure they had to work with what they had. But it was pretty narrow. And I saw a lot of people bumping models with their elbows and stuff like that, and some of my hoods got knocked off or whatever. I had to go around twice and fix them. It is what it is, but a great show. But for me, there's a dopamine high when I go to a show. So much goes into it. If you've ever been to a show, you know what I mean. But first of all, you get to commingle with hundreds of other people with the same passion as you do. Builders above you and below you and right along with you. And you're getting tips and tricks. And everybody's very friendly and they want to share their work. They want to show off their capabilities. As well as you do yourself. So that is just an exciting part of the show right there. And then vendor areas. I tell you what, where else are you going to find just about every vintage model cars there are, new and old? And you can find probably just about anything you're looking for. And a lot of times there's some excellent prices. I picked up quite a few kits for about $20 a kit. You could probably even do better than that, but I picked up quite a few vintage kits that I just don't normally see because I haven't been collecting for very long. So that's a blast. Just seeing all the builds on the tables, it's an inspiration. It kind of gives you a feel for where you are in the hobby at your skill set, and you really get some ideas of where you need to step up your game. But it's just an all fun thing. But for me, the biggest dopamine high of it all is when I'm being approached by fans of the show. And I had quite a few of that at the show, and I really appreciate everybody that came up and said hi to me. And I'm sorry, I'm never going to remember all the names because there were so many of you, but I really appreciate that you watch. And a lot of you told me that I helped you build, and that really means a lot to me, my tutorials, because there is a lot of work that goes into them, but it's you that I had in mind, and I'm glad it's working for you, and I really appreciate that. We're going to get into the tables, and I do apologize, my video of the tables wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. I chose, when I filmed the tables, it was very crowded, and as I told you, the rows were very narrow, so I was being bumped into quite a bit, and it was a real struggle to get to the models. Unfortunately, by the time I shot everything, about an hour later, the crowd had thinned out quite a bit, and it would have been a perfect time to do this, but I looked down and I was using my phone, and I had like 19% power left, so unfortunately I used up all my juice when I did the filming. So I'll include it here, but it's not my proudest work, and I do apologize. I'll try better next time. And then there's a special story about this Chevelle that you see behind me. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this in the end, so stick around to the end. But a very special story about this car here and the people that owned it or built it. So let's get into the show.
Okay, we'll start off with a quick pan of each of the two vendor areas. They had so much that they had to spread it out into two different rooms, and there were lots of bargains to be had. I ended up coming home with 7 kits and a few accessories. Really good stuff. Some of the best bargains I've seen on model kits in a long time. I did not do any detailed filming of the vendor area, though, because there was just way too much to offer. Here's a view of the second room from up above, so that was a good way to show you exactly what was going on down there. And here's a quick pan of the model display room. Let's get down and look at the tables. So we're starting off at the Ohio Challenge table, and this year the challenge was the 64 Nova. So after reviewing the footage that I took, I was very disappointed in it. It was very shaky, it was very fast, and if I kept it that way, you were just going to get dizzy and click away. So I had a choice to either scrap the project or continue on with the slideshow. And I got to thinking about it, and since the cars don't have any motion, slideshow should be just fine. So here we go.
let's recap of the show. It was a really good show. Once again, it's the Buckeye Classic in Hilliard, Ohio, which is a suburb of Youngstown. And I truly do apologize for the photography. I know I really hacked it up this time. As I said, it was very crowded and I kind of felt rushed there. And I knew I had bad footage and I wanted to reshoot it, but I didn't have enough battery power. So I hope I salvaged it by doing the freeze frame. And I don't blame you for, not watching it all the way through if you didn't. But for those of you you did, I appreciate it. Anyways, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned to you that there was a special story about this Chevelle behind me, and I'd like to tell that right now. And as I said, I had fans of the show coming up to me throughout the day, and I always enjoyed that so much. But there was a couple in particular that kind of stand out to me, and his name was Don Sheridan and his wife, and he goes by Chaos Customs on Facebook. And pretty much, he introduced himself to me earlier in the day when I got there, and we kept running into each other, and every time we did, we had a little conversation, so I got to know them pretty well. But toward the end of the show, and he built this Chevelle, by the way. But toward the end of the show, as we were wrapping up and packing up, I realized that I forgot to get a photograph of one of the cars so that I could stand in front of it, like I'm doing now. So Don was packing his up, and I got a couple pictures of this and some of his other builds, some still photos. And I told him, I says, I'm going to use this photo to stand in front of for the intro of my video. And what happened next just blows my mind, because he takes that model and he just picks it up and he says, I want you to have this. And I'm blown away. I'm like, what are you doing? No, I can't take that from you. And I tried to say no in as many ways as I can, but he insisted. He was very persistent about it. So I proudly took it home with me. Don, your generosity blows my mind. I really appreciate you doing that. Last year I was at a show too, and I did the same thing with Kevin Smith. I sat on the hood of his Firebird, and he gifted me that car. And now here's Don gifting me this beautiful Chevelle. Really appreciate you guys doing that. But you work so hard on your build. Don't give it away. But I have to give him a special shout out though. So again, it's Don Sheridan. Beautiful build, and thank you so much. I just wanted to do a special shout out for him. And I want to thank everybody for watching, and I really do enjoy you guys interacting with me. So until the next time.